British Museum is of course full of ancient art, Egyptian art, Greek art, Roman art, but I'm here today to see the most ancient art, and I mean that. Here in this exhibition we've got Ice Age art which goes back as long ago as 40,000 years. This is the first time that we see art and sculpture emerging in the archaeological record. It's the first time that we see traces of people that really do seem to be the same as us today. I think I look at this Lion Man and it seems like a very modern idea to me, and there's a lot of imagination encapsulated in it.
It's something that doesn't exist in nature. You had to invent this, you had to preconceive it. It's also made by someone who was very experienced in working ivory and knew exactly what they were doing. It's someone who is allowed the time to get on and do this. This is a work which we know from experiment takes about 400 hours to produce. It's not about physical survival per se. It's not about staving off hunger or keeping warm. It's about psychological survival, and it's about going one better. And that is really a sign of the modern brain getting active.
And there are more representations of a lion man, aren't there, from the Lone Valley?
Yes, it has a tiny brother which is just in the case there. And we've got two little sculptures. One, the tiny little lion man just here, and up above it, this wonderful depiction of a water bird.
It is, and interesting that the same people effectively are producing these different images, one which is quite naturalistic, and then this other one, the lion man, which is so
Pure
imaginary.
Invention.
Yeah,
Pure invention.
Fantastic.
Pure invention.
And then this is incredibly exciting.
Well, yes, I mean the flutes to put thoughts into notation, to have symbols as sound, is fantastic. Now, usually the flutes are made of swan bones, which are shorter. This one is made on the wing bone of a griffon vulture, which gives you a longer flute with more finger holes, and you can vary the notation.
And these German flutes, I mean, this is the first evidence that we have of music. I mean, this is it.
Well, of course, people might always have sung to one another, but to make music using an instrument, these are the oldest known instruments in the world that we know of.
All these pieces of artwork and these flutes, they're going along with a new technology which is arriving in Europe, and they're going along with actually the first wave of modern humans to come into Europe.
Absolutely.
The Neanderthals have been there for hundreds of thousands of years, but have never made anything like this.
Yeah.
But this is us.
Yeah, this is us. This is definitely us. Here come the girls.
Lovely, aren't they?
And I'm particularly pleased that we've managed to get a broad spectrum of them to show how they vary across Europe, but also how they show women in all different stages of their life. This lady here, who's actually giving birth in a kneeling position. You can see her abdomen low and ready to give birth. And if you turn her upside down, you can see that the baby's head is about to crown. So, but also to notice how much these figures contrast with this group here, which are from the site of Multar, way over in Siberia, down by Lake Baikal.
But she looks to me like she's wearing, I don't know, a little jacket and trousers, and she's got a little hood on as well, perhaps.
She's well wrapped up in the furs.
Because we're coming up to 20,000 years ago, we're coming up to the most horrendous time as far as climate is concerned for humans, the peak of the last ice age. And these people are living in Siberia at the peak of the ice age. It does seem to be something of a conundrum here, something of a paradox, because we know that biologically humans as a species appeared perhaps even as long ago as 200,000 years ago, and we have these kind of tantalising glimpses of art popping up in Africa. We have ochre crayons, but we've no idea what they were actually doing with them. And then it takes until 40,000 years ago to actually see this type of art. Is it just that we've been looking in Europe for a lot longer than anywhere else? Is that why we're finding more art here, or do you think there's something really special going on in this environment?
I think there is something really special going on in this environment, and yes, we have been looking in Europe a lot longer than in other parts of the world, but of course archaeological research in southern Africa has been going on for a century. So what we're looking at in Europe is something distinct and rather special.